Hey guys, it's Puvar here. Just wanted to do a bit of a video on choosing the right base for your attack, or on the other hand, choosing the right attack for the base that you need to attack. Two styles of attack that have been really effective for the clan are mass dragons and mass hogs. And because one's an aerial attack and one's a ground attack, I just wanted to have a look at the differences between those two, and the sort of bases that you might like to choose depending on the style that you enjoy the most or the troops that you have to hand. So first of all, I wanted to look at a base that I thought was suitable for a Hog Rider attack, and we'll just have a bit of a look at why that might be the case and why it's maybe not the best base to attack with dragons. So it's a Town Hall 9 attack, and for me, Town Hall 9s are always a little bit challenging, and I like to go after them, but I tend to be pretty selective about the ones that I hit on the basis of how the bases are actually laid out. So if we have a close look at this base, the reason why it's appealing to me when I first look at it is because everything is really tightly packed. There's not a lot of gaps in the base, and I think that Hog Rider attacks tend to come undone due to spring traps and giant bombs. And if I can find a base that allows me to go in and know that I'm not going to encounter many spring traps or giant bombs, then I think the Hog Riders are going to absolutely destroy this base and give me 3 stars. So if we have a close look at this base, we see a few gaps. The ones that are just big open spaces up here at about 12 o'clock near this gold mine, at about 3 o'clock, one about 6 o'clock, and one about 9 o'clock. I'm assuming that the only reason that people would have a walled gap like that is because they have a Tesla tower behind it. And even if they had a giant bomb there, because Hog Riders tend to go from one defense to the next, it's very unlikely that the Hog Riders would actually even enter those spaces. So I consider those to be really low risk spaces. The only one I'm worried about is the one by this cannon at about 9 o'clock, because it seems to me there's probably a Tesla there, and between the Tesla and the cannon there might be 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 spring traps. So from the point of view of putting Hog Riders on this base, I'd try to get the Hog Riders to hit that space fairly late in the attack. But even if they hit it, I'm maybe going to lose 3 or 6 or 9 Hog Riders. If I'm clever about it, I'm not going to lose any to giant bombs, so I think I've got a pretty good chance of winning this. If you look at it from the other perspective, if this was a dragon attack, I think it'd be really risky. First of all, you've got level 4 and level 5 air defenses. There's 4 of them. 2 of them are very deep in the base, which would be very hard to get to, and there's a chance that your whole attack could become undone on that basis alone. There's also a crossbow that's aimed at aerial units, and a number of wizard towers fairly deep in the base. So I think there's a chance that this whole attack could go down if you tried to approach it with dragons, unless you happen to have a huge amount of level 4s and a lot of rage spells. So from the point of view of the hog attack, I think it's ideal. My personal approach to this would be to find insertion points for the hogs that are fairly low risk. And the ones that I'm looking at, because I like to send my hogs in a couple of groups just because they move through the base a fair bit faster, I'd be looking at this archer tower just here as one insertion point, and this wizard tower just here, or perhaps what I think is going to be a Tesla just beside it. Now the reason I've chosen that is because if you look at the clan castle, I want to be able to draw that clan castle out, and I also want to be able to be sure that my Hog Riders have a safe insertion point. And there's a way that I can do that, kill both those birds with 1 stone, or perhaps 2 stones, and that is to drop an archer or a barbarian near that barracks, and to drop another one near this gold mine, because those are going to be my insertion points. Now the first one's going to get my clan castle troops out. The second one's going to lure them over towards what my final kill zone is at this dark elixir storage. I've chosen that because I know that this cannon can't hit it and this mortar can't hit it, so it's a safe place for me to kill those troops. I'm going to choose a 3rd insertion point because I tend to carry a number of hogs in my clan castle, and I'll probably keep a few in reserve just for emergency. And because I want to draw out my barbarian king, who's sitting over here, I'm probably going to drop another set of hogs down here. So I'll use a barbarian to alert that barbarian king to the fact that there's an attack going on, and that'll become my final insertion point. So by dropping those troops near those insertion points, I'm clearing out any giant bombs or spring traps that might be there in the first place and making it safe for my hogs to come in. So that's a lot of talk, but why don't we have a look at the replay itself and just see how it plays out. So here we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is drop a troop to alert the barbarian king. There goes a bomb. Drop another troop up the north to get the dragon and the archers out. And I'm deliberately dropping a few troops right by the edges of the screen to try and get those clan troops to come as far north as possible, so I make sure they're out of the way of the defenses and the buildings and I can kill them with impunity. Alright, now the barbarian king's coming along. I'm going to drop a few ground level troops and a few more archers and dispatch them. So now it's safe for me to put my hogs in. Since I've cleared those two areas where I wanted to insert my hogs, it's very safe for me to drop these boys down. So off they go, a couple of healing spells to carry them along, and then down south in a moment I'm going to insert a second or a third wave of hogs. This doesn't go perfectly well because I end up encountering a giant bomb as it happens. Boom. But with a healing spell, more or less everything's going well. The last thing I'm going to do here is drop my barbarian king now that defenses are out of the way. I like to reserve my barbarian king because he does a lot of damage, and I like to get him wandering around the base and clearing out buildings that might be risky for hog riders at the end of the campaign because they might encounter another giant bomb. So getting that barbarian king in, you know, triggering a few spring traps and a few extra giant bombs didn't work perfectly. It's just a way of just reducing the risk of the overall attack. The one thing I didn't like about this attack is the town hall was left almost to the end, and there was a risk that all the hog riders were going to die and I wasn't going to get my full 3 stars. I'm trying to work on insertions where the hog riders finish up their last defense fairly close to the town hall, but so far it's not going so well. Anyway, thankfully I've got quite a lot left at the end of the day. In they come for the town hall, and the rest is history. Okay, the second attack I'd like to look at from the same war is one that was done by Jik Samus, and this one is a mass dragon attack, and I think it's a very, very good choice for a number of reasons. First of all, the air defenses are weak. Second of all, the air defenses are near the edges of the base, which means the dragons can get to them quite quickly. And the third reason is that I'd never put hogs into this base. And the whole reason for this is there's so many gaps. I've got no idea where the giant bombs might be. I've got no idea where spring traps might be. And there's a chance this attack could go seriously wrong if I put hogs into it. So it's a perfect dragon attack. And let's just have a look at how Samus plays it out. After inserting the Barbarian King and the clan troops, we've got 2 lots of dragons going in after the air defense. Now I think this is a really good strategy, especially with the rage spells. Getting a couple of groups going, trying to get 2 air defenses out of commission really quickly. So you can see the air defenses disappear very, very fast. And there's going to be a 3rd rage spell drop here. Boom. And that's going to ensure that those 2 remaining dragons up the north side take out that air defense, and it's basically game over from here, and it's just a matter of watching the dragons do their work. So it's a perfect choice for a dragon attack, terrible choice for a hog attack. I'd be really interested to see some really good high-level giant wizard healer attacks going on. I know that Matt has been working on these, and while I haven't seen one in this war as yet, I'm keen to see that going as well, because I think there's some real merit to that style of attack, especially when you're dealing with bases that have minimal walls between you and the town hall. I think those attacks can be super effective in those circumstances. And just so you don't have to watch the last 30 seconds of this one, we're just going to go to 4 times speed. All dragons survive. Well done.